tick tock, Gotham, or whatever little corner of the world you're hiding in. Can you hear that? It's the sound of the world moving on without you. We're down to the wire now. 5 days. Just 5! Most people, oh, they're still on their knees. They're praying, they're wishing, they're begging for a break, for a hand up, for a little bit of mercy from a world that doesn't even know they exist. How pathetic. But not you. Not anymore, because begging is a comedy, and we're moving into the tragedy of transformation. No more asking for a seat at the table. We're going to burn the table and build something funnier. It's time to stop begging and start becoming. First things first, you have to kill the part of you that wants sympathy. Look at you, clutching your little wounds like they're trophies, hoping someone will walk by and drop a poor you into your collection. It's a sickness, really. We live in a world that has taught you that being a victim is a personality trait. These civilized people, that your trauma is a currency you can spend to get a little bit of warmth from people who don't actually care. But let's pull back the curtain on that little performance, shall we? Sympathy isn't love. It isn't respect. Sympathy is just a polite, socially acceptable way for people to look down on you. When someone feels sorry for you, they are confirming that they are above you. They are looking at your life from the safety of their own high ground and saying, "I'm so glad I'm not that guy." Why on earth would you want that? Why would you crave the pity of people who are only using your misery to feel better about their own mediocre lives? You need to stop telling your sad story. We've all got one. Mine involves some makeup and a very bad day. But you don't hear me whining about the unfairness of the system while I'm waiting for a handout. The world is a cold, indifferent place, and it doesn't owe you a happy ending just because you had a rough start. In fact, nobody cares about the origin story until the villain takes over the city. Do you think Gotham cared about who I was before I put on the purple suit? No. They only started paying attention when I started making things happen. Your pain is boring until you turn it into power. These civilized people, your struggle is just noise until you use it as fuel to become something that people have to acknowledge. In these next 5 days, we are going to perform a little surgery without the anesthetic. We are going to bury the why me. Once and for all, why me is the mantra of the beggar. These civilized people, it's the sound of someone who thinks life is a fair game where the referees just happen to miss a fall. Newsflash, there are no referees. There is only the player and the game. When you ask, why me? You are surrendering your agency. You are casting yourself as a leaf in the wind, waiting for the breeze to decide where you land. It's pathetic! We're going to take that why me, and we're going to drown it in the harbor. In its place, we are going to birth the try me. That's the shift. That's the click in the lock. Try me doesn't ask for permission. Try me doesn't wait for the world to be kind. It's a challenge. It's a declaration that you are no longer a passive participant in your own tragedy, but the director of your own dark comedy. To become something new, the beggar has to die. People, and I don't mean he has to go on a diet or take a nap. I mean, you have to execute him. You have to kill the version of yourself that finds comfort in being the underdog. It's a comfortable role, isn't it? If you're the victim, you don't have to take risks. If you're the beggar, people, you don't have to be responsible for your failures. But that comfort is a cage. You have 5 days to stop being the dog chasing cars and start being the one driving them. If you want to transform, you have to burn the bridge back to your old self. You have to become someone who is so unrecognizable that your own mother wouldn't offer you a tissue. She'd offer you a wide berth. The transformation begins the moment you realize that a smile is much more effective than a sob. Stop begging for a seat. Start making them wonder why they ever thought they could keep you out. People love their little plans. They have their 5-year goals, their morning routines, and their color-coded calendars, thinking they can negotiate with greatness. They think they can ease into a new life, like dipping a toe into a lukewarm bath. It's adorable, really. But let's be honest, that's just another form of begging. People, you're begging for the universe to make it easy for you. You're asking for a change that doesn't leave any scars. But real change, the kind of becoming that actually sticks, isn't a transition, it's a total, unadulterated explosion. You don't evolve into a predator, you snap. You don't gradually stop being a loser. You decide in one heartbeat of absolute madness that you are done with the old skin people. And you rip it off regardless of how much it bleeds. That is the chaos of commitment. You have to commit to the mess. If you aren't a little bit terrified of the person you're becoming, then you aren't doing it right. You're just playing dress up. Most people are so afraid of looking foolish or losing their stability that they never actually move. They stay frozen in their tracks, waiting for a sign, waiting for the right time. The right time is a myth told by cowards to help them sleep at night. The only time that exists is the chaotic now. When you commit to becoming something more, you are essentially throwing yourself off a cliff and betting everything that you'll learn how to fly, or at least enjoy the wind on your face before you hit the pavement. It's like a gasoline fire. You don't ask the fire to burn politely in the corner of the room. You don't try to manage the flames. You give it the match. You throw the whole can of fuel on top. And you get out of the way! Stop overthinking. Your brain is your worst enemy right now. It's the one telling you to stay safe, to stay quiet, to stay small. It's the voice that whispers, "What will they think?" Or, "What if it doesn't work? Who cares?" In the grand scheme of things, we're all just a punchline anyway. You have to embrace the uncertainty. The chaos is where the power is. These civilized people, while everyone else is busy trying to keep their hair straight and their shirts tucked in, you should be reveling in the storm. You should be the one laughing while the lightning strikes, because you realized a long time ago that you can't be struck down if you are the storm itself. Just start being the monster you've been suppressing. Let the commitment be so total, so absolute, that there is no room left for doubt. This isn't about trying. Trying is for people who expect to fail. Commitment is for people who have already decided the outcome. In these 5 days, you aren't trying to change. You are committing to a new reality with such ferocity that the old reality has no choice but to crumble around you. It's a beautiful kind of destruction. You're tearing down the scaffolding of your old, boring life to make room for the monument of what you're becoming. Don't look for a safety net. Don't look for an exit sign. Just dive headfirst into the madness of your own potential. If the world looks at you like you've lost your mind, smile back. It just means you finally found something worth keeping. The chaos isn't the obstacle. It's the evidence that you're finally alive. You know what's really funny? People who announce their glow up to the world like they're expecting a standing ovation for just doing their jobs. They post their little progress pictures, they share their day one quotes, and they broadcast every tiny step of their journey to anyone who will listen. Look at me! I'm changing! Tell me I'm doing a good job? Shh. Keep it a secret. Don't you see? The moment you tell the world what you're doing, you've already lost the power of doing it. People, you're trading the actual transformation for the cheap sugar rush of someone else's approval. You're still begging. You're just begging for likes instead of spare change. The best tricks are the ones they never see coming. A magician doesn't explain the trapdoor. Before he disappears, he just vanishes and leaves the audience gasping in the dark. That's how you need to handle these 5 days. Beggars shout for attention because they're desperate for a handout. Kings and the truly enlightened clowns work in the deep, cold shadows. There is a terrifying power in silence. People, when you stop talking about what you're going to do, you create a vacuum that can only be filled by action. People, you stop leaking your energy out of your mouth and start funneling it into your hands. Civilized people, for the next 5 days, I want you to close your mouth. I want you to become a ghost in your own life. Let your friends wonder where you went. Let your enemies think you've given up. Let them all get comfortable in their assumptions about who you are. While they're gossiping and wasting their breath on the mundane, you should be in the basement of your own soul, sharpening the blades. There's a delicious irony in being underestimated. It gives you the freedom to move without being watched. It gives you the room to fail, to experiment people, and to rebuild yourself without the suffocating weight of everyone else's expectations. Let your results be the cold water thrown in their faces. Bull. There is no louder sound in the world than the silence of someone who has actually succeeded. Imagine the look on their faces when you finally emerge, not with a speech, not with an explanation, but as a completely different creature. Don't tell them you're becoming. Let them wake up and realize you've already arrived. Let them see the new version of you and realize they don't even know how to talk to you anymore. That's the goal. You want to be so far ahead that their voices can't even reach you. Work until your signature becomes an autograph and your presence becomes a problem for those who stayed the same. The silence isn't just about being quiet. It's about being focused. It's about realizing that your internal monologue is the only conversation that matters right now. If you can't convince yourself in the dark, you'll never convince the world in the light. So shut the door, turn off the notifications, stop seeking the attaboy from people who are still stuck in the mud. The work doesn't need an audience. The work needs a master. And when the curtain finally pulls back on day 5, the explosion will be all the noise you'll ever need. You're still holding on to your plan B, aren't you? That little frayed safety net tucked away in your pocket that whispers, if this doesn't work out, I can always go back. It's that comfortable, stagnant pile of cushions you've laid out just in case you trip. Well, I've got a little secret for you. And it's a real scream. That safety net isn't there to catch you. It's there to strangle you. It's a leash, keeping you tied to the very person you claim you want to leave behind. As long as you have a way back, you'll never have the stomach to go all the way forward. You'll always be a half measure, a compromise, a punchline that lacks a delivery. You need to rip it up. Better yet, burn it! Toss it into the harbor and watch the bubbles rise. You only truly become something when there is no back to go to. When you destroy the bridge behind you, the fire illuminates the path ahead with a clarity that most people will never know. It's a beautiful, terrifying moment when you realize that the only way to survive is to succeed. Most people live their lives like they're playing a game with infinite lives. So they never play with any real skin in the game. But you, Bull, you're going to play like this is the only hand you'll ever be dealt. People, when the only way out is through the fire, you'll find you have much better motivation to keep walking. You'll find a speed, a strength, and a desperate, jagged focus that you didn't know you possessed. Think about it. Why do people beg? They beg because they think there's a choice. Bull. They think they can negotiate for a softer landing. But when you burn the safety net, you realize that there is no landing, there is only the flight. No more begging for a way out because you've locked the doors and melted the keys. It's a psychological masterpiece, really. When the human mind realizes it's trapped between greatness and total annihilation, it stops whining about feeling tired or feeling unmotivated. It stops looking for a nap and starts looking for a weapon. It's the ultimate how moment. These civilized people, you don't need a pep talk when the ground is disappearing beneath your feet. You just need to move. For these 5 days, I want you to identify everything that makes you feel safe in your mediocrity. Is it that job you hate but stay at for the security? People? Is it those friends who keep you small because it makes them feel big? People? Is it the low expectations you have for yourself so you never have to face the sting of a real loss? Burn all. Set fire to the exits until the only thing left standing is the version of you that refuses to lose. It's not about being reckless. It's about being certain. It's about deciding that the hold you is a ghost. And ghosts don't need safety nets. They need to be exorcised. Once the smoke clears, you'll feel lighter. There's a strange, manic freedom in having nothing to lose. When you've destroyed your own retreat, you become the most dangerous person in the room. Bull. You become the one who doesn't blink when the stakes get high. Because you've already gambled everything you own on the person you're becoming. No more safety. No more maybe next time. There is only the now. And the no is hungry on the 5th day. The smoke clears. The bridges are gone. The beggar is a corpse. These civilized people, and the silence of your work is finally broken by a sound you haven't heard in a long, long time. The sound of your own heartbeat, steady and unapologetic. You don't look in the mirror and ask, "Oh, is this me?" You don't look for a nod of approval or a reflection of who you used to be. You look in the mirror and say, "This is the punchline." You own it. Every scar, every jagged edge, every bit of the monster you've spent 5 days stitching together, it's yours. It's not a costume anymore. It's the skin. This is the final smile. It's not the grin of a man who's happy. People. It's the grin of a man who is free. Whether they love you or they fear you, they can't ignore you. You've moved past the point of being a potential or a possibility. You are a fact. You are an inevitable consequence of your own will. You've stopped asking for permission to exist. Bull. You've stopped waiting for someone to hand you a badge of authority or a certificate of belonging. You've become the thing they said you couldn't be, and you've done it while they were busy sleeping, complaining, and you guessed it, begging. And here's the best part, the real kicker that makes the whole journey worth the madness. Once you become, you never have to beg for anything ever again. Why would a king beg for a crumb? Why would a hurricane ask for a breeze? You don't ask for respect. Your presence demands it. You don't ask for a seat at the table. You walk in and the room goes quiet because they can feel the gravity shifting toward you. You just take it. You take the life you want, the space you occupy, and the destiny you carved out of the chaos. You realize that the world is just a play, and you finally stopped being an extra and started being the lead. Even if you're the one burning the theater down, the transition is over. The 5 days are up. The transformation isn't a goal you reach. It's a state of being you inhabit. You've realized that the harulas were just suggestions and the walls were just paper. These civilized people, you've discovered that the only thing standing between the beggar and the god was the courage to stop asking and start acting. Now, you walk into the world with that final smile plastered on your face. A smile that tells everyone you know exactly who you are, exactly what you've done, Bull, and exactly what you're capable of doing next. So, Gotham, or whatever little world you're about to conquer, are you ready for the new guy? Because he's not looking for a handout, and he's definitely not looking for a friend. He's just looking for a stage. The beggar is dead. The becoming is complete. And the joke? Well, the joke is on anyone who thought you'd stay down. Now, go out there and show them what a real transformation looks like. After all, well, what's the point of becoming something great if you don't have a little fun with it?